It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
That's right. Welcome in to Write That Down Wednesday here on Purple Daily, daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. It's really not that much to ask for after 60 years. You'll notice that Declan's on vacation here. He has flown down to swampy Florida for a family gathering, and so we got our guy, one of our favorite behind-the-scenes part-time producers, AJ, in the house to throw some predictions around today. Let's get it, Judd.
AJ, you know what? I'm going to say this right now, and Declan is going to find out and possibly be upset. As far as the hair title on this show goes, not too shabby.
Wow. AJ's got the hockey hair going on here for sure. Look at this.
Dex is very proud. Like Dex gets Dex, honestly, I think the maddest he got was when I once said a Write That Down participant might have trumped him when it came to hair. But AJ, I think AJ challenges. Different hair.
He's got a little Bradley Cooper going on with that hair. He does. For sure.
Perfect slick back.
When was it? It was last week that I came in just to kind of get brushed up on a few things, but I walked in and he was like, I didn't know your hair was that long. I could sense the
little jealousy.
The throne's getting challenged. He goes, how long has it been? Oh, I could tell he was shaking his boots.
Just asking 50 questions about. So, what kind of product do you use there? What's going on? You got split ends, or how do you deal with those? All right, the show is presented by our friends at Surly Brewing Company and also TCL. No matter what you watch, TCL has award-winning TVs for any budget, any space, all with stunning picture quality. And TCL makes more than just TVs. They offer mobile products, audio devices, home appliances, and more at TCL.com, bringing you joy and simplicity through innovative technology. All right, let's fire this up here. The only show in America that actually keeps track of our predictions with statistics. It's Write That Down.
Yeah, most sports talking heads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackey and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackey and Judd.
Yeah. That's right. And on this show, it's not batting averages. We do that on Mackey and Judd. It's completion percentage and touchdowns on this show. And we make 3 of them each week. Everybody, we're going to get guest listener predictor John in the mix here. Declan via satellite. AJ is going to take some throws down the field. If you guys out there, listeners of the show or viewers on the YouTube channel, if you'd like to participate, just send us a message through the Score North app. It's free to download. Plus, all month long, it's the Purple Daily Getaway to Miami giveaway. At the end of the month, we are drawing a trip for 2 to see Minnesota and Miami in Week 6. We'll cover the tickets. We'll cover the travel. You just bring your own face paint and white linen pants or whatever. You open the Score North app, you register, and you enter through listener rewards in the menu. It is that simple. At some point in the month of June, all you have to do is enter, and we'll make 2 people very happy, hopefully, to see Miami in the middle of October. So are you guys ready for this accountability session here? Only a couple things came off the board because
I think I am then.
It's the off season. So Judd, you had nothing come off the board, but I do want to highlight, in the absence of things coming off the board, some predictions that are still on the board.
Oh, why did you do this?
So here's one that's on the board for Judd. Wyatt Davis will be the starting right guard for the Vikings in Week 1.
What are you doing? Why?
Well, I'd like an update on this.
Why can't you highlight one that has? I think he has no shot. I think
you
he might
covered
be lucky to make the
OTAs and
roster.
minicamps. What is he doing?
It's a very good question.
Is he out there with like the threes?
What would you say you do here? I have no idea what he's doing. He's buried. I don't know. But I can tell you right now, I forget when I made this prediction. It was probably shortly after O'Connell got hired because I thought that there might be a chance. I think he will be lucky to make the roster at this rate.
That's so crazy. He was a second-round pick, right? Third round pick.
But
okay.
I mean, yes.
That's still a pretty high pick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guy that had a first-round grade from some prominent mockers.
I feel worse about myself now.
Percentage chance he gets cut?
Well, considering how little I saw him, and I mean, I think he's going to get a chance to show something, but I'd say that there's a 30% chance that he gets cut.
It becomes a math problem because you've got the 2 veterans in Chris Reed and Jesse Davis. Are you going to cut one of those guys? I don't know. Probably not.
Ingram's
They
gonna
drafted
make the
Ed
team?
Ingram in the second round. Yeah, he's on the team.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for showing me that prediction.
J.C. Treader is going to be on the team at some point, probably. We'll
Boy,
see.
it's been a while since you mentioned him.
I know, falling behind on my
Nope.
on my quota. All right, I had one thing come off the board. I said the Vikings team building activity last Thursday will involve another sport of some kind. I spent way too much time on Vikings.com going through photo galleries and
Barbecue.
articles. It was a barbecue, but I wanted to find out, were they doing sporting activities at the barbecue?
No.
And I couldn't find any evidence across any Vikings platforms that they did anything. Like if they played bags, I would have probably fought for that to be a point, but they just didn't put any content out. It was like a private barbecue or something.
Your primary mistake was the fact that they had done, I believe, the week before they cut off a day of OTAs to go to Topgolf.
Yeah.
So that was the sport. That was the bonding sport event. So that's your problem.
I know. I knew that too. I knew that they were out there golfing. Okay, the listeners had nothing come off the board, but I will highlight this prediction from David a while back. He said he thinks the Timberwolves will win a championship before the Vikings. What are your thoughts on that? The Wolves just hired one of the best presidents of basketball operations in the NBA from the Nuggets. You know, they made the playoffs. Who's more likely to win a title in like the next 3 to 5 years, the Vikings or the Timberwolves?
New ownership for the Wolves, which is going to be a positive probably. Yeah, I mean, this seems crazy on the surface, but the Vikings have been around since 1961, and they haven't been to a Super Bowl since, I believe, 1976 season.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, will the Wolves win the championship while here or, for instance, Nashville? We don't know. But I'd say the franchise very well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't dispute it at this point in time. The Vikings should win a Super Bowl, but my God, how can we count on that?
Yeah, I still think it's the Vikings because, you know, the Timberwolves are the Timberwolves, but we'll see. And then Declan had, God, he's like, these USFL predictions, the people are starting to resent.
I'm back to him, by the way. I'm coming back for a final weekend. I'm going to make one this week because I see what Declan is doing in exploiting a system that is broken and no one stops him, so I'm going to do it.
All right. Yeah, some of our listeners are getting really mad at us for making USFL predictions here, but he said at least one of these teams with one win, the Panthers, Maulers, or Gamblers, will pick up their second win of the season. I believe the Gamblers for sure did, and I kind of stopped looking after that, but it's a point for Declan, which brings us to the season stats. I have a fairly comfortable completion percentage lead, 37.3% to Declan's 31.6. Judd, you're at 24.5, just ahead of the listeners at 24.3. Declan has 6 touchdowns to my 5, to the listeners' 4, to Judd's 2. And that's where we stand here. Going into the week, let's get our guy. I'll pop him in here, AJ. John in the mix, making his debut on Write That Down in a badass tie-dyed Viking shirt. What's going on, John?
Thank you.
Love it.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good. What's your strategy here today, John?
Well, I think I need to get that completion percentage a little bit up, at least over Judd. So there is one that I almost see as a possible fumble on the ground, and instead of picking it up and running it to the house, I'm just going to plop on top of it. But then I do have one that is probably a intermediate pass and then a deep shot.
Okay. So we're going to kind of spread the ball around the field here. Use the different levels of the offense. Before we get into these here, John, what is your first memory as a Vikings fan?
First one that I paid attention to was the 98 season. I was 10, and this is where I learned a few important lessons. The most important one, how much or how little you wear of team merchandise has nothing to do with team success. Because that Christmas before the 98 game, I had a Vikings turtleneck, a windbreaker pants, hat, a football that had like the stats of every single season, and was watching that game. And I'm thankful that we had a tube TV because after that game was done, that was also when I got in trouble for chucking the football at the television set.
Oh, no. A life of violence as a fan.
It just,
lashing out.
Even that, but my parents saw that as the perfect season because what they then said to me is they go, this is perfect because you basically got the history of the Vikings up until that point in one single game. You got it all in one.
It was a crash course. Yeah, definitely a crash course.
Exactly. This is 1960 to 98 at this point, and it's held
Amazing.
true.
So John, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go around the room here. We're gonna start with John. We're gonna go Judd, Declan via satellite, me, and then AJ's gonna sling some predictions here too. And we'll make 3 trips around the room.
Write this down.
So you're under center here, or shotgun, or pistol, or whatever the hell, wildcat. The ball is yours.
Well, this is the ball that accidentally gets snapped off of the center's ass, and it's on the ground. So for this one, I'm actually going to need Mackey to take his headphones off.
Oh wow!
I love
Okay,
it.
all right, here we go.
Love it.
Okay, just you guys wave your arms when it's time.
It's
for me.
always me,
Yep.
but now it's you.
Yes, and that is because up until this week, this wasn't even a thing I thought about. But Mackey is doing his countdown of the top 20 Vikings predictions, so I will get in on the top 3, which I think is fairly simple. So that's why I can see it as being just a completion percentage thing. I have him picking Danielle Hunter at number 3, Dalvin Cook at number 2, and Justin Jefferson at 1.
No Kirk Cousins from Mackey? I can't believe that. Yeah, that's
In the
probably
top
very
3,
solid.
come on.
That's very
Come
solid.
on.
I thought Kirk might be like 17, so yes. All right.
Exactly. So
He can come back. Come on back. Come on back.
Okay.
That's a solid one, yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Am I in danger of having this come off the board today?
No.
That's all I want to know. Okay.
Nope, you're not. That's all we will say.
Okay, I like it. I love it.
Write this down.
All right, Judd, your first prediction.
Justin Jefferson will be in the top 25 rankings of the top 100 players in the National Football League when that list is unveiled on NFL Network later this summer. And just as context, he was 53 last year.
Wow.
So he will now move
Disrespectful.
He will now move into the top 25 in those rankings, which are done by players, and they're done very, how can I say this nicely, haphazardly by players. But I think Jefferson now has the respect to get into the top 25.
He should be top 25. This is kind of a check down, which is fine because you definitely
It is
need
kind of a
completion
check
percentage
down.
help, but
It is kind of a check down, but I'm looking to get back up. And it's not just a completely wussified check down, let's be honest.
where will just off the record, where do you think Kirk will land? Was Kirk in the top 100? I don't think he was actually.
Yeah. Oh, really? I thought he was in like the 70s or something.
Write this down.
I don't know.
I think Kirk will land here for the rest of his life because they love signing him to contracts.
Just
That's
keep
what I
signing
think.
2-year ironclad
That's
contracts.
what I think.
till
He'll
he's
be
50
74 years
Yeah.
old. I need this guaranteed.
If we can just get a center, just get a right guard in here, it'll be fine.
Cousins
Kirk,
drops
it's
back
been
to
40
pass.
years, guy.
Braces himself against his walker, goes downfield, 3-yard completion. Anyway.
I've had 60 different coordinators. All right, let's go Declan via satellite here, AJ, with his first prediction. Write that down.
All right, Purple Daily, write that down. Here's my first prediction. For my first prediction, I'm going to need Phil to take off his headphones. And I'll give you a little bit of time, Phil. Don't go nail a thing into the wall. Maybe go grab my Mackey. I don't care. All right, now that he's away, write this down. So if Phil's already done this too, by the way, because I don't know the logistics of what you guys are doing for your Purple Daily recording since I'm not producing the show. But on Phil's next prediction of 10 through 6 on the top 20 most important players to the Vikings, he will have Zadarius Smith, Harrison Smith, and Dalvin Cook between 10 and 6. Zadarius Smith, Harrison Smith, and Dalvin Cook in the 10 to 6 range on his top 20 most important players of the Vikings.
This is incredible. This is unbelievable.
Wow,
I can't tell you what they're saying, but this is incredible.
What's
right.
incredible about it? Or is it going to spoil it?
Yeah, it's spoil it. I can't tell you.
Okay. Did John and Declan make the same prediction?
Let's just say they're thinking alike, but not entirely alike.
Okay. All right. I love it. All right. So,
Write this down.
I guess it's my turn here, and then we'll get to AJ. I'm going to need me to take my headphones off here for this next bit. I'm going to make a Phil prediction here. No, here's my prediction, okay? The Vikings will get off to a blistering start to the season. Now, I have them losing the first game in our official record predictions. I have the right to change this, but I have a feeling with how poorly the Packers started last year because of Aaron Rodgers going through his whole offseason BS, and he skipped a bunch of workouts already this series without Devontae Adams. I don't know if they're going to hold on to it, but write this down. The Vikings will hold a double-digit lead over the Packers in the first half of their Week 1 matchup. A double-digit lead over the Packers in the first half of their Week 1 matchup.
Get up by 10, yeah.
That's a touchdown, right, if that happens?
I could see getting up by 10 without being unbelievable. I don't think that's a touchdown. No, personally, I don't.
Okay. What about you guys?
Gentlemen,
I'm
AJ?
fine with it. Is it a touchdown?
It's close, but like think about it, they get the ball first, they score, and they get a takeaway, and they score right away again.
And then they still lose.
Yeah, exactly. And then they crumble in the second half.
What would it have to be a touchdown? A 2-touchdown lead? What if I said a 2-touchdown? So 13 points or more.
I would say I would say 2 touchdowns and a field goal. 17 points.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if
That's
I want to
me,
go
though.
that far.
I think
That's
that's
me.
fair. No, I think that's fair. It's very plausible that because it's game one, fluky things can happen. Yeah, I'd say 17 is fair. That's a touchdown for sure. But I mean, like 10 points just is plausible. Still lose that game.
Okay. Because I want this to be a touchdown, then I'll change it. The Vikings will hold a 3-score lead or more. So it would have to be 17 points or more, right?
All
A
right,
3-score
now
lead or more
Now we got a touchdown.
in the first half against the Packers in Week 1. Okay.
All right. No, I got a touchdown.
Teamwork there. Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, AJ, your first prediction here.
This one is a little bit of a check down, but the other day I got the group text started firing off, and I have a love-hate relationship with those because it's just like they pop off at the worst times, it seems like. But it's fantasy football in June about the drafting order and all that stuff. So it got me thinking about fantasy football rankings and stuff that are probably coming out, once again, way too soon because it's June. But I'm thinking as the calendar turns and we go to July, the first updated ESPN consensus rankings for wide receivers in a PPR format, Justin Jefferson will have and by consensus, I mean like he's 1, 1, 3, and 1, so that averages to like 1.4 or whatever. He's ranked number 1 overall as a receiver in the wide receiver format for PPR.
Okay. So he'll be the number 1 PPR receiver on ESPN, is what you're saying.
Yes, on ESPN rankings. So, above Cooper Kupp, above Devontae Adams, all those guys, he's going to be number 1 at the top.
Okay. Now, we should tell the audience, if you're looking for just an easier way to play fantasy football and fantasy sports, if you're sick of these complicated text threads about draft dates and waivers and all this stuff, Underdog Fantasy and UnderdogFantasy.com and the app, the best way to get a sweat on games tonight. But if you're looking for a season-long option, whether it's with friends or just random strangers, the season-long drafts on Underdog are awesome if you're just sort of casual about it, right? No waivers, no trades, no lineup setting. You draft a roster, and Underdog will take the highest scoring players and the healthy players, and those are your starters. So, like, if you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I was at a wedding or something and I forgot the 3:00 game. This guy was a questionable injury. None of that matters. They set your lineup based on who performs the best. No stressing over the day-to-day or week-to-week management, and you can be in multiple different leagues. And if you sign up with the promo code SCORE, S-K-O-R, Underdog Fantasy will double your first deposit up to $100 bonus cash. And then you can help us, too, because, the more people we can get to sign up, more it helps Score North and Purple Daily, Judd.
So you're saying no sweat to sweat. Because you don't have to sweat the procedures and all the BS, and then you get your sweat on, but you don't have to be like, honey, I have to duck out of church right now because I forgot to set my lineup.
And if you are sweating, you can always cool down with an ice cold beverage. That's the other part.
Let me tell you about that. Yeah, a man after my own heart. The transitions are glorious. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you right now, summer solstice is Tuesday, next Tuesday. It's going to be summertime, and that means the summer of Surly will be here, and we can all celebrate. And right now you're saying, but Judd, what is the best way to celebrate the summer of Surly? And I'm going to tell you, it is with the Supreme Variety Pack, which includes the Grapefruit Supreme, the Mango Supreme, summer beers at their best. Forget everything else. Forget anything else. Just remember, when you head to the liquor store to celebrate the summer of Surly and the fact that summer is here and warm weather is here and golf is here, you got to do it with the Surly and make it the Supreme Variety Pack.
There we go. All right. Back to
down?
guest listener predictor John. Your second prediction, sir.
All right. This is based on the fact that I just want to will this into existence because as a Vikings fan, I find nothing greater than former Packers sticking it to their team. So I want to go bold on this one as much as I can. Zadarius Smith or Chandon Sullivan will win Defensive Player of the Week one of the 2 times that the Vikings play Green Bay.
Darius Smith might.
I love it. Yeah,
If he's healthy.
I'm just floating either of the 2 defensive options.
I think Chandon Sullivan might get benched at some point, but I think if Smith is healthy, I could see that one.
Yeah, this is definitely a touchdown pass prediction because it's specific and it's high end for sure. All right, Judd, your second prediction.
All right, Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson will not play in a preseason game for the Vikings this year. Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson, and I think this might be widespread, but at least those 2, I do not think in the 3 preseason games will see the field.
How far do you think? Because I agree with you here. We'll allow it because it's Judd's fighting for completions here. But where do you think they draw that line? Like this KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne's going to be a starter because they're going to run 3 wide receivers in most of their offensive set. So
I believe if I'm not mistaken, Sean McVay did not play starters in the preseason last year. Now, a guy like Osborne might play, but I think the thing, too, is if you look at how they ran their off-season camp, like they were big on, and it's not dumb, on not getting guys hurt. Don't take chances. I don't think, and the debate would be, well, but it's a new offense, a new defense, but they'd be so vanilla in those games that it's not like they'd be going through the actual plays that they're going to run against the Packers. So I think it's going to be pretty widespread that they're going to do everything in their power to rest anyone that they truly care about being healthy on September 11th.
Yeah,
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Declan via satellite here for his. We're making AJ just go back. This is a crash course here in production here. Notebook over to the satellite here. We'll go Declan via satellite for his second prediction.
All right, prediction number 2, sponsored by my friends at the Meadows at Mystic Lake. I'm going to be golfing in Tampa this weekend, but you should be golfing at the Meadows at Mystic Lake, an award-winning 18-hole public golf course just down the road in Prior Lake, Minnesota. They offer a scenic golf experience. They got a great Meadows bar and grill. Book your tee time, book your golf lesson, because I'm going to need a lot of those at golfthemeadows.com, golfthemeadows.com to learn more. USFL prediction time, the over-under in the Panthers and Maulers game. A couple of 1-8 teams duking it out. Will be over 50 points or more. So the over-under is at 42.5, I believe, right now. Now, these 2 teams are going to be duking it out. 50 points or more between the Panthers and Maulers.
Love it. I mean, I think he's only gotten 1 USFL prediction wrong so far. So I guess, might as well keep going back to the well here. It's working for him. Yeah. John, are you on behalf of listeners, are you offended that Declan keeps throwing USFL predictions out to pad his stats?
Tell the truth.
It's by the rules of what we're doing, this is fine, but I absolutely get the argument of people saying that this is horse bleep.
Yeah, people think it's no fun because no one follows the USFL. They want Vikings predictions.
I don't disagree with
Declan wants
that.
to pad his stats.
I don't disagree with that. They're sort of just boring because we don't care.
Well, we care for selfish reasons to win
but I'm saying
the statistical battle.
But my ears close, my eyes glaze over when we make, including myself, a USFL prediction. So I sort of get what the listeners and viewers are saying.
Yeah, can't
they
say
technically could go on. Oh, sorry. They could technically
good.
Go on the Score North. Write this down because that's open to.
Yeah.
Oh, but I get it.
Write it down. You like
All right, here's another week 1 prediction here. So, Kevin O'Connell's trying to make the rookies earn their spot up the depth chart and the ladder, right? You're not just going to get Ed Ingram's not just going to be running with the ones during OTAs and minicamp. Lewis Cine, it sounds like, has already been sprinkled in back and forth with Cam Bynum. So there is a genuine position battle going on there. Write this down. Lewis Cine will start week 1 for the Vikings. And I hope they find a spot for Cam Bynum to mix in creatively, too, because I think he's really good. But Lewis Cine, I've seen him in enough interviews here, too. He just seems like he has a really get-it personality, infectious. There's a reason why they drafted him so high, obviously. So I think he will start in week 1.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, AJ, your second prediction.
I'm going to go and turn to you. Once again, rookies kind of thinking the same way. In the preseason games, Ty Chandler is going to score 3 touchdowns over the 3 preseason games. So the UNC running back that was just drafted, Ty Chandler, Write that down. 3 touchdowns over the 3 preseason games.
There we go.
I also have a Ty Chandler prediction. AJ and I are tracking here. I have a Ty Chandler prediction at some point.
Write it down. You like writing things
I got left out.
Guy, man.
I didn't get the memo.
Yes.
Take your headphones off.
Yes, actually, maybe we'll make a Judd prediction in regards to Ty Chandler at some point here. All right, John, your third and final prediction.
Okay, so Ty Chandler. No, this one is based on a little bit of research here, and because of the fact that Kirk Cousins is a statistical wonderkind, I guess this is the route that I'm going to go. He is very close to be passing some milestones just because of being a Vikings quarterback for the length of time. Whether that equals to wins, I'm not saying that in this prediction, but write this down. Kirk Cousins will finish the season top 3 all-time this season for passing yards in Vikings history. He's currently 3,776 yards behind Dante Culpepper to get to that level, and will pass Tommy Kramer to be in the top 2 all-time, which he would need 36 this season to do. I'm saying he's going to do both this season.
Wow.
Write this down.
Love it. Love it. Taking some shots down the field here. All right, John, since you've got this gigantic, life-changing platform here on Purple Daily, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you to this pinnacle moment?
Absolutely. My 2 brothers-in-law who we've watched several games with, I want to shout them out. They were the ones with for the Miracle in 17, where we afterwards cried and proceeded to knife edge chop Ric Flair style each other in the chest. And then also to my son, who's 11 now, but was an amazing baby who somehow quickly picked up the idea that even if it was feeding time and I was watching football, he somehow knew that the referee whistle meant that I would actually give him a bite. So he would actually turn, look at said television, whistle would go, and then for food.
It's like clicker training for dogs. You just,
exactly
hear the noise. And
it ends up becoming like a Pavlov situation. So now to this day, when the ref goes, he just starts salivating,
I love it, man. Awesome. Well, John, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck with your predictions, and we'll have to get you on again sometime, all right?
Thanks, John.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, there he is, John, our guest listener predictor. Let's keep this final lap around the room going here. Judd.
All right. I was going to do a USFL prediction, but upon hearing the complaints, and not only hearing them, agreeing with them, the lameness, the fact that we don't know these teams, the fact that it's just a bunch of people trying to get points for their own interest and not serving you, the viewers, you, the listeners, I have changed course. Write this down. Aaron Rodgers will throw at least 2 interceptions in week 1.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers in the Metrodome with fans now, unlike the season opener in 2020, no fans, was able to draw the Vikings offside. It was a complete debacle. Aaron Rodgers, it won't be perfect for him. At least 2 interceptions in week 1 by the Vikings.
I love this, man. I mean, he was a debacle against the Saints. Was it the Saints in week 1 last year?
Yeah, they were awful.
When are we going to get your review of his girlfriend's podcast? Can we do that sometime next week?
I haven't done that so far. The witch, right? And I say that with all due respect.
Well, she is denying that she is.
But there's buzz out there that she might be a witch.
What's the hip term? Is it like pagan or something like that? Or is that
maybe?
I don't know.
That before. Yeah.
It's a way to say witch without saying blue with no e. Drop the e.
Yeah, I think we definitely need you to listen to at least one full episode and bring 5 observations from her podcast.
I say
listen,
witch.
It is the dead period of the NFL season. That could be an episode for us.
I say witch with all due respect, okay? So I just want you to know, blue to me, I'm a big fan.
Write this down.
All right, Declan via satellite here for his final prediction.
All right, third prediction from me. Baker Mayfield will be traded to the Panthers in June. I think this is just going to happen. Baker Mayfield to the Panthers. It's going to happen this month, between now and the end of the month. Baker Mayfield to the Panthers in the month of June. Write it down.
Me thinks Dex might get burned by the in June part of that. I don't know that there's no deadline in June.
There's way too much lingering.
What are the Browns going to do? I keep asking that every week when there is a quarterback prediction, but what are the Browns going to do?
Oh man,
Deshaun Watson's going to get suspended.
and
I don't think there's any
they're
way he
pot
can
committed
play.
with him. Like they gave him all this money. Like they have to sort of pretend like, oh, he's our guy. We love this
and
guy.
Baker's
He's not a creep.
the bridge is burned with Baker Mayfield. But I mean,
Baker isn't in a. But it's burned with Baker Mayfield. But like, Baker Mayfield needs to stop acting like, oh, could they burn this bridge with me? It's like you're not that good. So just be a professional. Baker Mayfield, would you rather if you have a chance to play? Let's say Watson gets suspended for almost the whole year, but let's say you have a chance to play 8 or 17 games with any team in the NFL to boost your value. Are you choosing the Panthers or are you choosing the Browns? You know, I'm go play for the Browns, dude.
You said something though that's intriguing. That Baker Mayfield needs to be a professional. I don't think he's really wired like that, man. I think he'd rather go to Carolina now because his feelings are hurt, and he thinks he's great. There's no question about it. He values himself way more than the rest of the world does.
He has a better chance to revive his value with the Browns than with the Panthers, I think, and Matt Rule. Like I'd give me Kevin Stefanski over Matt Rule 10 times out of 10.
That debacle, in my opinion, here is going to, and it's not his fault, but it's going to cost Stefanski his job because I think this team's going to fall apart.
Wow.
Like you have gone in on a guy who now is going to create, like everywhere they go, every practice, everyone's going to be there, national media wise, asking questions, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I'm going to make my Ty Chandler prediction here. Write this down. In the preseason, he will go for at least 200 yards from scrimmage. I think he's going to be, because starters are going to be out, he's going to be the bell cow in those 3 games. So they're going to get a look at some other guys, but Ty Chandler will get at least 200 yards from scrimmage in the preseason for the Vikings. All right, AJ, you bring us home here. Your third
You like writing things down.
and final prediction.
So because I think Declan probably learned his lesson last year to not take a vacation right before major points in the NFL season, especially just in the news cycle, I would doubt, barring any significant injuries to him, I'm getting back in the action here, back in the chair. So I'm just going to call my shot for first touchdown of the season for the Vikings, week 1. I think it's going to go write that down. Dalvin Cook.
Okay.
Dalvin Cook, first touchdown of the Vikings. It's a pretty safe bet, but hey, call your shot where you got it.
All right. There it is.
Very
Those are your Write That Down predictions presented in part by our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. Federated, in addition to helping business owners throughout the last 100 years, they've also been partnered with Big Brothers Big Sisters through the Federated Challenge. They've helped raise $44 million for Big Brothers Big Sisters since 2005. And there are currently 5,000 bigs in the state of Minnesota. Or I should say, Big Brothers Big Sisters serves more than 5,000 children nationwide through their mentoring program. And if you're interested in being a mentor, find out more at federatedchallenge.org, federatedchallenge.org. All right, we're going to give you guys a second episode of Purple Daily today because we have to count down 6 through 10, boys, of the 20 current best Vikings players.
I got to get the list out, so I'm
We'll
ready.
see if you agree, disagree, but that'll be a separate episode of Purple Daily today. Thanks for hanging out with us. Daily Vikings Entertainment. We'll see you guys.